Welcome back to another Boot-tacular vlog. In this video, I'm going to be doing three things. Well, actually, four because of the tires, but primarily three things to get this thing ready to cruise, and hopefully at the end of the video we'll be taking it to this cruise, which is in 2 days. Because today's Wednesday night, and the cruise starts Friday night and Saturday night. So I really got moving. There's only a few things, but you know, I'm old and out of shape and slow, and it's hot, and well, actually it's kind of cooled off, so this is the time to do it. So anyways, let me get to what we're doing. Okay, first thing I got to do, this car has no temp gauge. It's, you know, got one, well, it's got one in the cluster, but it's broken or whatever, I don't know. I'm going to put an aftermarket mechanical gauge, and what I see online, the thing to do is to drill and tap the water pump right here. So I got to drain the coolant, pull the water pump off, drill and tap that, you know, run a sensor through the firewall, and so on. So that's stage one. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do them all in order, but stage two, there's no mufflers. There's no exhaust in this. It's just headers and a little bit of a collector extension, so it's loud as hell. And if I take this thing, you know, NASCAR loud to a cruise, I'm going to get pulled over every 5 minutes and get a bunch of tickets. So no, I got to at least put mufflers on there so I can go, hey, it's got mufflers. And they can look under there and see there's mufflers. And hopefully, I don't get pulled over and I don't get, you know, any tickets. But honestly, even though there's only extensions on there, it's not super loud for open headers. I mean, I've heard others that are louder. So I don't know what the deal is in that. I want to put mufflers on there because no mufflers is a clear, you know, easy ticket. So mufflers. 3, the drive shaft. I pulled the drive shaft. I knocked the caps off. Here's the drive shaft, which, by the way, when you get a new drive shaft, paint it. Paint it. So I got to put a new joint in the rear. No big deal. It was, when I pulled it, I noticed it was also leaking. So I mean, it needs to be done. He was doing probably a million burnouts in this thing because it's, you know, got some power and it's fun. So, and that's what I plan on doing with it too, is burnouts and such. So anyways, before I get started on all that, the thing's been sitting outside because my garage is a disaster. I mean, it's just, so I need to make some room. I got to shuffle this stuff all around. I got to shove this big old crate over there and all that. And I'm not going to bore you with all the cleaning and everything. I'm going to actually go inside, get me a sandwich, and then come out here and start getting clean. That's my goal tonight. Clean the garage, get the car inside, out of the rain, because I've been playing tag with the rain the past few days. I made 3 road trips in 3 days, and I just trying to do what I can do to get this done. Today I got the insurance on it, I got tires mounted, you know, gotta do it and get it done. So, time for a sandwich. This is interesting. You know, I don't want to show it, but I caught these 2 chipmunks last week when it was hot, and they don't look like chipmunks anymore, so that's pretty gross. That's another reason why I'm getting my sandwich now before I do the cleanup. I forgot to share that with you, so ain't I a nice guy? Mission accomplished. Well, not quite yet. Okay, now mission accomplished. It fits, just barely. See for yourself. A couple inches. Back here. Oh, by the way, that right there. Of course, I was like, oh man, it's leaking. But I remembered that's from that. So, let me do this here real quick. Bang, just a couple more inches. So yeah, I'm happy. It's not ideal, but this is just so I can work on it for now. Later I'll figure out something better. Right now, I mean, I'm probably going to be still working on it mostly outside. Just gonna push it out, push it back in. Don't have to worry about tarping it up and animals messing with it and whatnot, people, whatever. Anyways, I'm done for now. Time to get a shower. Tomorrow I'll get cracking at those 4 things. This is how I turn my light off. Well, that's actually just the chargers right now. That light's off. But this one, this is the fun one. Got it. Also, it'll cut down on all the bird junk. Yuck. Let's see if I can make this shot. Nope. Plate and parts acquired. It only took me 3 parts stores to get what I need, but I can't believe about 2 parts stores didn't have LS water pump gaskets. Anyways, I better get back and get started. All right, I already started tearing it apart to get busy on doing that water pump. What they do, I guess, is the popular thing to do is to drill and tap it right here in this flat spot for the temperature sensor, the mechanical gauge. Put it right in there, and you're good. Of course, I want to pull the pump so I don't get a bunch of shavings through there and ruin the pump and whatnot. So I went ahead and pulled the belt, and I should have showed this before I pulled the belt, because I knew about it, but I forgot to tell you guys, because I noticed this right away when I was looking at the car. They got this janky DIY alternator bracket, and I'm going to try and get the right angle. You can see it there. The alternator is like, it's out too far and cocked. I mean, when the belt's on there, it's really noticeable. I mean, the belt's forward. And I asked him, like, did it throw belts? And I'm like, I don't think it was. I think he said it wasn't throwing belts, but it had maybe before. I don't know. Anyways, it did come with a new alternator bracket, which I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, it's kind of like, the time I may mess with it, or I may just leave it alone and pick up another belt. Bring the belt and bring, the tool to replace the belt, because belts aren't that much, and so the part number for this, wherever this combo set is. They got no power steering, which that's not a problem. I'm used to having cars with no power steering. I'll work out that later if I want to add power steering or whatnot. But for now, I get this pump off, and I picked up that new container because I thought, I was gonna try and reuse the fluid. I was like, I don't feel like cleaning my old nasty container right now, which is, you can't see because of the freaking sun glare. Right there, it's all nasty mess, and it'll take me an hour to clean it out. I'm like, I need another one anyway. I'm just gonna buy a new one. But let us run in water. So no big deal. I'll dump it in the old one. I'll either get some more distilled water later, or get some coolant and actually put coolant in here. I like to run coolant because you forget water's in there, and winter you get a problem. So I mean, hopefully they drain it. Hopefully there's no cracks or starting or nothing. Hopefully we're good. Also, you can see over here on this either, they spaced it out with a bunch of washers because they're using the outer, which maybe they're supposed to use the inner for the alternator. I don't know. I'm not an LS guy. This is my first LS dealing. I mean, I know some stuff about LSs, but actual, practical use. You can also see over here where they notched the coil bracket and this valve cover, I assume for the alternator clearance. So, anyways, I'm rambling. I'll get back to work. Okay, let's drain this water. I pushed outside because there's no point in getting the garage all wet. Don't even need a jack. Just bam. Oh, just almost missing the bucket. Get in there. Not that it really matters. Would you look at that? Freaking junk hose clamp. Whatever. I guess it kind of does look a little bit yellow, greenish, whatever. Still, whatever. I'll get some new stuff in there. Pulled up a radiator hose. Hopefully the drain faster. It's going slow as heck. Meanwhile, let's talk about this drive shaft. It does have a nice drive shaft. I noticed that when pulling it. Well, yeah, it looks like a 3-inch, and yep, it's right in here. Made in USA, 3-inch. And over here, 1020 steel. Now, I'm not sure if this is an 8.3 for the wall thickness or whatever. I can't really tell that part, but should be good. 1020, 8.3 wall thickness, drive shaft. I think they're good for, according to PSD website, maybe 900-ish or so. I don't know. U-joints though, they got, I could tell it was leaking from the seals. And you can see it's all nasty and greasy in there. Before I even pulled the drive shaft, I'm like, yeah, just put a new one on it. I want to replace this one as well, and I'll paint the shaft, but right now I'm just going to throw one on the back, and I'll pull it again later, paint the whole shaft, put a new one on. I think I'll probably change out this yoke, because it looks like maybe a stock yoke. I don't know. So, oh, and to measure your dry shaft, again, you can use a clamp. Bam. 3 inches. And also get the size, because this is not, I can't look up a, you know, Camaro, Firebird, whatever, you know, F-body. I had to measure it. So, you know, I had to measure, you know, the gap between the inside washers, each end of the caps, and the overall length and width of this. So, those 4 measurements, go to Spicer's website, get the size, and then you cross-reference it, because AutoZone said they had a Spicer, but they didn't. So I ended up having to get this Moog, you know, which is, I measured it, it's good to go. It's 355, whatever. And I also forgot to mention, it looks like there's 2 types of thermostats on these. I don't know if I got the right one or not. I'm going to just check it. I might mess with it. We'll see how when I get the pump off, I'll know if I can actually drill it without, you know, if I can plug the holes and keep the shavings out of the whole pump. But I got, this is the gasketed one, and this, I guess this gasket's for the integral one or whatever, which I didn't know until I watched the video that there was 2 different kinds of thermostats and housings for LSs. And this is my first LS, like I said earlier. So I don't know. I was happy to find the metal gaskets. These are the metal ones. You can see right there. Because the other people that didn't have them, they only had paper. And I'm like, we still have to order it though. How do they not have a common gasket? So, what do you do? I mean, I just placed an order with Summit, and that's my bad right there, because I should have ordered the gaskets. I ordered some other junk, which I'll show you later when I get to deal with that. I'm going to do the mufflers last, because that involves long term on my back under the car, and I'll save that for later in the day, because once I lay under the ground for a while, my bag's done for the day. So we do this up top stuff first, then later the under. Oh, I got an oil filter too, because even though he just said he just changed the oil, and I'm going to pull the oil filter, cut it, and we'll see. This is from Walmart, which is way cheaper than the parts store. I mean, literally $8 cheaper than the parts store. I mean, $8 ain't much, but I was right across from at the Secretary of State to get the plates. I'm like, yeah, I'll pop in for a minute, grab a couple of oil filters, and get my stuff at the auto parts store. I'm rambling again. This thing's still draining, so I'm going to mess with some junk and do what I got to do. Quick tip. If you're like me and try and reuse your rubber gloves, you know, save a few bucks. You know, obviously you can't always, because your hands get sweaty and you just got to peel them off, throw them away. But when you do want to reuse them, you have a clean side, which is the back side, and the dirty side, which is your palm side. So I just flip them and use the clean side of my palm. Also, jack the back up. That way it's not still dripping when you're trying to put the pump back on the block. Cheers. Oh, there's a bigger mess. Even though I drained it, but good thing I put some cardboard down at least. Pumps off. Good to go there. I'll let that dry out for a minute. And I didn't notice that little steam line right there, which they had just like zip tied. You can see right over there. Zip tied as well. So you know, I'll find some small hose clamps. I think I got some somewhere. But everything looks good so far. Oh, and I did check this before I bought it. You can see right here it says on the block 6.0. So we're good there. Pumps off. I'll take it to my workshop here. Or actually, the workshop's packed full. That's where all the stuff in the garage went. Is the workshop, the saw and such. So I'll drill and tap it here after a break and make some lunch. You can see. Worked up a sweat. It's much cooler today, but still. It doesn't take much to get me going these days, because I just did the dumbest thing. I'm going to change the wheels now, and I went to put it in gear. There's no dry shaft in the car. So, wood block. Okay. I do want to point out, before I put these all on, when I bought these wheels, the guy said they were multi-lug pattern. But you can see right here, this is the lug pattern that he was using, and these are the other. He said he didn't know, but those holes are too small. I mean, there's Let me grab it over here real quick. You can see the socket right here. It's kind of tight, and that's why I'm thankful I don't have to buy a special spline tool. But it would take a mighty small lug nut and socket to utilize that hole. So I'm pretty sure these wheels are one pattern. Not these holes are just for lightning or looks. So not 100%, but pretty sure. Oh, and don't mind the rusty lug nuts. The rusty lug nuts. I'll order some better ones after, but I couldn't get any ones in short notice, and local cost more, so do that later. Wonder what that wire's there for. Yep, just a happy little loose red wire. That's cool. It's funny, when I was going to look at this car, I told him I was going to pull the drive shaft after I bought it. And he was like, I was like, I'll bring my jack and jack stands. And he's like, it's pretty low, so good luck with that. And I'm like, obviously, he's never worked on a Corvette. I mean, you know how nice it is to have central jacking points in the front and rear? I mean, Corvette, like C4, you have to use all 4 jacking points. That's why I own 2 jacks, the same exact jack. This is way better. Not to mention, when I did pull the drive shaft, when I did in that parking lot, even though it was on the dolly, I could still get the jack easily under the rear. I thought I might have to go from the side, but no. And it says shorter tires. I'm putting taller tires on them, but the tires on this, the stock size is 26, and the rears it had 27.5 and 24.5 on the fronts. Man, this thing's a breeze to jack up. And done. There we go. Stand back, get a look at it. It's going to be hard to get a good angle right here. I think they look good. Better than those stock 16s for sure. Although they need to be washed. I mean, there's goop on it from when they mounted that one. No excuse for the backs though. Well, the backs are good. His old backs, which those are his old fronts, his old backs, which are right there, those were weather cracked. And over here, the ones that are on it, all of them weather cracked. I mean, they're just like right there, they're cracking good. So those are good rollers for now. Winter tires. And this, tripping over this chair. Really hard to get a good angle here. This, in my opinion, much better. Oh, and these wheels, they went on good. They felt like they're hub centric. I couldn't measure because they're too tight for me to get my caliper in there, but they slid on, stayed on real good. So I'm betting they are intended for F-body cars. I mean, the fitment's not ideal, but what you would expect for something that's kind of a stock replacement, and then you put spacers on it later to pull them out some. But I don't really care about all that. They look better than me. Awesome. Anyways, I want to get the wheels done, take care of before it got late, because it's starting to get late. Because, be respectful of my neighbors and such, because, I want to use power tools. I don't want to be making a bunch of noise later at night. So, got that out of the way. Now, on to drilling and tapping this water pump. All right. I think that'll do. There. Stay. All right. I mean to make this clip. Well, I didn't make the event I wanted to make. Now, goals are a good thing, even if you don't meet them. I mean, I'm still going to set goals, even though I haven't been having a good track record lately. But you got to try. I mean, without goals, you just kind of, I guess, never really, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just know I'll keep trying. Didn't make it this time. Didn't get a single thing I wanted to get done, but I made progress. Figured out some things. I'm right now diving into more potential issues, trying to problem solve those as well. So it is what it is. There'll always be another event. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Wish me luck.